Are you awake? Shh. Easy now. You didn't look too good before this. You're still quite pale. For a human standard, that is. It seems like you lost quite a bit of blood. Are you in pain? You're a little delirious at the moment. Just stay still, okay? I mean you no harm. I promise. I've been taking care of you for a little while now. I found you. I'm not sure how you wandered this far, but you were quite deep in the forest. Hunting, perhaps, given your equipment. I don't see many humans using bows and arrows. I've heard you typically use swords, spears, axes. Well, I guess axes are more for the orcs. Well, I haven't had the chance to see one of you before, so I'm not too sure if it's the most accurate, but it was quite interesting to see you have one. You can understand me, correct? I'm not fluent in the human language. It's not my native tongue. I haven't had the chance to learn it properly. Well, just recently I had the chance to learn about all of you. I'm quite young in Elven years, considering. We've recently been taught on humans and your kind. We typically don't see you often. You don't look too well. You were bleeding quite a bit, and I was trying to stop most of the wound. Although I'm not adept in magic, well, healing magic to be specific, I was able to use a little bit to heal up some of that wound. It's not as deep now, at least. Shh. Don't talk too loud. Well, I'm sure you're probably better aware than me, but you're not exactly welcome in this area. We tend not to like outsiders here. Honestly, you're quite lucky it was me you ran into, or well, who found you. Gotta say, I was mainly interested that you had a bow. I probably would have left you if you didn't. Forgive me, I brought some water for you. I was able to sneak some of this out and fill it up. I tried boiling it. I know you humans don't have as strong of a guess you would call it an immune system in human terms. to fight off any illnesses. Would you like some? I'm sure you'll help with you talking a bit. Here, do drink. Is that a bit better? You don't seem as raspy now. I wasn't too sure what to do. I haven't had proper lessons yet. As you can say, for herbology or alchemy or any of the such. I mean, I know some basics, but nothing that the healers of my kin can do. But I was able to bring a few things. I looked through your bag and I found this bandage-like thing. I found a few of them. I applied one to you already, but when I was learning about you, I heard that humans use this instead, as most of you don't have access to magic or potions. I was going to switch out the one that you currently have. There seems to be a good bit of blood on it. Are you still feeling quite woozy? Poor thing. Here, let me see. I have this one as well. I'll switch out your wounds, or the wound coverings. I'm not sure what you would call them. I think it was bandages or something similar to that. It's quite interesting. It's a very barbaric method. You humans, well, even the potions you all make. They're quite different than what we have. You know, by human standards, I think I performed first aid quite well. Obviously, my healing magic added to it. But I think it was quite good. I mean, you're alive, aren't you? You didn't bleed out. I'll pour some water on the wound. Clear it out a bit. My apologies, I probably should have casted a pain relief spell. I forget that you have a lower tolerance than us. What are you Well, what were you doing out this far? I assumed it'd be hunting, given that we're not currently at a time of war. Interesting. And you came this far in the forest to look for it. Hmm? Well, I haven't exactly heard of that before. Maybe we call it something else. What does it look like? I'm not noticing any specific herbs or plants like that. But perhaps I haven't learned about it yet. There's quite a few herbs and foliage here. So I think that's enough pressure on it. I mean, it's a pretty nasty cut to the leg. Probably hard to walk, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So, do all humans carry bows? You know, in the lessons we took in class, we were told that you carry shields and those heavy metal armor. Knights, I think they called them. Is that true? Not as common. Oh, I see. Well, I guess it's a bit outdated now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Here, let me wrap this over top of it. I don't want any bacteria getting into it. Seems a bit better. Back to that herb you were mentioning. Was it something that had healing properties or poisonous, perhaps? Well, I'm not immediately thinking of anything given that, but I have brought a few herbs. I was able to grab a few on my trip back quickly. These are used for healing more. There's quite a few different ones. We tend to use these ones to make you have more of a tranquil and calm mindset. I had quite a few of these mixed in with the water you drink. And the water I poured on you. You see these small leaves, these petals have a very heavy calming effect. I was worried you'd be very anxious or possibly dangerous when you woke up. So for my safety, I had quite a few of these around, just in case. You can't blame me. You know, the depictions of humans that we've heard of and learned of, at least the young ones of us, were quite barbaric. Which is quite surprising given your appearance. You don't really seem that barbaric. But I'm also told that humans are similar to dark elves in a way. You're all tricksters in a way, deceiving to the eye. That's why I took your weapons away. I'm sure you've noticed that already, though. These, plants at first, I thought you were referring to them. The one that you're looking for. These are quite the interesting ones. We typically use this as a cleaning herb, you can say. It's supposed to remove any poison, any infections from a wound. Although I've already used quite a bit on your main wound. You still have a few on your face for minor cuts, on your hands and arms. If you don't want me to, I won't. But I thought it'd be best to prevent an infection. Since you're quite far out from the nearest human city, I thought it'd be best to make sure you're in at least a safe to travel condition. Hold still for me. Wipe down some of your cuts in the face. How did you get all these wounds? Thought you were supposed to be very endurable, very strong. It's not really a common monster you see around here. You sure it wasn't a beast skin or something like that? When I was inspecting your wound, at first I thought it was a slash. Something like that. And these cuts on your face, they would align with the claws of one. That feels a bit better, doesn't it? Well, it might be a interesting side effect, perhaps. I was wanting to ask you, when I was searching through your bag, just for my own safety, of course, I found these interesting things. I haven't seen them before. Yeah, they're quite delicate in nature. I didn't break any, of course, but they seem quite brittle. What are they? Shells. Quite interesting. You can see through most of them, or at least the thinner ones. Was there a creature in this? There's minor traces of mana within it. A life force. Do you have to kill them to get this? I see. We don't exactly have the ocean, as you call it, around here. I take it that you were on a long journey before this. Somewhere is quite different from here. Of course, we have lakes of our own, but an ocean. Are these beaches, as you're referring to them, aren't really common here. At least, not for those who reside here. These are quite interesting. Are these also from this ocean? They seem quite pretty. As if there's almost a rainbow inside of them. Pearl. Quite an interesting thing. Are these common? Easy to come by? I quite like these pearls that you have. They're quite pretty. It'd go quite nice in my collection. Can I have them? I mean, considering I've saved you, and I took care of your wound, it's the least you could do, right? Brilliant. These are quite nice. Do you have to find them deep in this ocean? I see. It seems quite difficult to find. I give you this in return. This is an emblem of my kin, of my direct lineage, and my family. This will provide you safe entry into this forest. more specifically, safe exit of this forest. I think you already know what I'm hinting at, but you shouldn't stay here for long. You not you most likely don't know, but we typically and proactively patrol these areas, which is honestly why I'm surprised you got this far without someone noticing. But for both your safety and to make sure I don't get in trouble, you should probably start trying to get back. Well, at least if you do encounter one of my kin, if you're wearing this, they might give you a chance to explain yourself and hopefully not just, well, shoot you with an arrow. That would be quite unfortunate, wouldn't it? I put quite a bit of effort of patching you up. Well, I'll pin this onto you. Hopefully we'll see that. I also quickly grabbed, well, I couldn't really grab too much. I was worried that they would find out, but I was able to grab a minor healing potion for you. I thought it'd be best to let you heal naturally before relying on this, as I know that you'll probably have a long journey on the way back. And I was also able to grab a little bit of a mana potion. Although this is quite a pure form, it was not too much of it. I wasn't sure if you'd perhaps be a mage of sorts, but given that you're not using any magic, that might not be needed. Well, would you prefer to take this now or take it on your way? Now is a good choice. Here, I'll add it into this cup. I have a few herbs here, which will enhance the properties a little bit. It's not much, but anything will help, won't it? Definitely looks a lot less now that it's in here. But it's quite potent. So despite being a lesser healing potion, I still think it'll be quite fine. That's for these. These are special herbs we grow. They tend to increase the concentration of potions. Again, I'm not exactly a herbologist because I'm still learning. However, I know enough that this together will be not only safe, but quite beneficial for you. I mean, it's up to you if you wish to trust me, but I do believe this is quite safe. It's something that we learn at a young age. Well, younger than me. Just in case we get injured or hurt when we're out. Anyways, drink. It tastes a bit better than you were expecting. Well, I'm quite sure about that. I've heard about the healing potions humans typically use. They're not the best, to say lightly. Anyways, I believe that will get the main wound healed up. You should be able to walk pretty soon. It won't be fully healed, and you'll have to keep those bandages still on, but I think you should be fine. Alright, well, make sure you don't come back to these woods. If you do, make sure you wear that emblem. I don't like seeing violence. I don't like seeing people hurt. But don't come back for your own safety, okay? Most of my kind are not as understanding. Especially some of the older ones. They were quite stuck in their ways. Alright, well, your weapons are behind the tree over there. How to keep them out of your sight, just in case. I'll be going now, but you should be on your way. If you decide to rest a little bit beforehand, make sure you leave just before dusk. That's when some more worrisome individuals will be out. Alright. Well, it was quite lovely to meet you, but I don't want to see you again. So make sure you're on your way. Alright. I hope you safe travels now, and I wish you all the best.